Hey Saggies! So I'm here to do the reading, the general reading from June the 12th to the 18th for yourselves. Always check your Sun, Moon, your Rising and your Venus. These will be extended readings, so you can hit the Vimeo link in the description box below if you want the extended for this particular reading. Or if you would like to be able to check your Sun, Moon, your Rising and your Venus signs, or anyone else's for that matter, and have access to all the readings all month, all week, I should say, every week, every month. Bonus readings, things like that. Check out the Patreon site, which is in the description box below as well. If I start mumbling my words, forgive me, because I don't know what is going on this week. It's like my brain and my mouth are not working together. It's really strange. So I'm going to dive straight in. Sagittarius. I keep saying like odd words that are not supposed to be coming out. Like puddled for puzzled. So we've got the solitude energy, which is the Hermit card, which is Virgo. So you could be dealing with a Virgo. You may have Virgo in your chart, in your moon, your rising, or your Venus. But the solitude energy is basically, it's time for a time out. So this week, I feel like you're going to be more focused, or you should be, more on your inner world rather than your external. It's a time of, you know, gaining the knowledge, gaining the wisdom, taking a look back over life, and kind of accumulating all that wisdom together, you know, so that you can use it in going forward. So you may be like kind of hermiting yourself off this week a little bit. What's crossing that energy is Triumph, Sagittarius. So the Triumph card is about being triumphant. You could be waiting for July for something, but stay with me. The challenge is to like kind of trust in your triumphs. That's what I kind of want to say. Trust in your own triumphs. Both major arcana. Why is this coming around now? Major arcana again, the shadow, which is the moon, sign of Pisces. There could be like an internal conflict going on here. And maybe that's where the need to trust in your own triumph is coming from. Because it could be like spirit and ego arguing within yourselves, like an argument going on within in your own mind. So this week I feel like in that hermit energy and going inwards and doing the work, that internal work that needs doing, you're kind of doing a lot of shadow work on yourself, like taking a long hard look at yourself, your own life, you know, how things you want to change. In the past, major arcana again, Sagittarius. Hope, you know, so I feel like you've got this like newfound hope in life, you know. It may be within another person, it may be within spirit. You can see the energy there in the hands, but I feel like you've kind of got this newfound hope energy. So now it's like going inwards and kind of gaining the lessons from the past, so then you can finally say goodbye to it in moving forward. And again, having that hope in your own triumphs, you know, not losing faith within that. So at present, when it wants to tell me, major arcana again, the Empress, Taurus energy. So the Empress is all about, she's all the queens of the tarot, you know, it's fertility. So some of my Sagittarius could be looking at fertility. But in that, you could be going through like a massive rebirth energy. You know, it's time to be delivered, you know, into your next role, into your the next period of your life. You know, it's a massive time for manifestation when you've got the Empress, because she sows the seeds, you know, in able to kind of like reap what she's sown as she goes forward. But it's all a form of blossoming. You know, she's her own tree of life, and she's blossoming from every branch. You know, so maybe this week it's about planning and, you know, releasing the shadow work, doing the shadow work, so then you can go forward and grow another branch, you know, to your own personal tree of life. It's all about, it's self-love, and it's doing everything from the heart, you know, because what we put out, we're going to get back. And if you're putting out healthy boundaries and love and, you know, loving yourself, that is what you're going to get back. You're going to accumulate that type of energy. So going future, we've got patience and planning. So when I said July earlier, it could definitely be significant. So we've got patience and planning. So I feel like now is the time to do the internalized things, and to kind of reap that wisdom and that knowledge from the past, because that is going to play a massive part in how you move forward. And it's time for you to start planning. It's time for you to start planning them triumphs. But I feel like the personal inner triumphs that will eventually, you know, play out on the external, because your power in this situation, Sagittarius, is the third eye chakra. Your power is to see the bigger picture of things. You know, when we're in a place of feeling hurt, or you know, in those tower moments, we don't gain the wisdom and the knowledge in that moment, because we're feeling the emotions that come with it: loss, grief, anger, you know, that type of energy. But then as we move forward, we start, the third eye is about seeing the bigger picture of things, you know, getting a more perspective view on things. So I feel like that's what you're doing. You're kind of rearranging your past so that it doesn't sting as much. So then you can move forward and kind of leave that where it is, but take the knowledge and the wisdom with you. It is a number 6. We are in the 6th month. We're also in the 6th year, 2022. So the outside influence for my Sagittarius is discontent and boredom. Be careful that you're not acting impulsively because you're bored, or because something feels stagnant. Don't keep yourself in the same place for too long, especially if it doesn't serve you and you know it is. Because I feel like there's certain situations where you're feeling like a lack of. So it could be a lack of love, you know, a lack of friends, a lack of, you know, companionship, a lack of finances, you know, that type of energy. So it does feel like you're missing something. But is it because you're kind of clinging to the past? So you're still trying to have hope in the future, but you're still carrying the past. You know, I kind of want to say drop the baggage. Oh. Yeah, in your hopes and fears, we've got mental conflict. Kind of staying within that mental conflict that was there in the past, you know, the things that you did have to drop. This is part of your shadow work. We all have that internalized voice that kind of, oh, you'll never do this, or you'll, you know, and we kind of start a war with ourselves. That's no good. And then we don't want to, because an internal war is always going to turn out an external war. You know, you start to do it with other people and other situations and things like that. So I do feel like this week, again, is about looking back over the past and what we've learned from it, and we can leave the anger and the regrets and, you know, that type of thing, because where we give attention, and energy flows to where attention goes. And I feel like now it's about turning that attention to yourself and not giving you attention freely to things that don't serve you in moving forward. So your outcome, and then I want to do a bit of clarifying. Oh, I like this. Prosperity begins, Ace of Pentacles, especially if you're sowing the seeds in finances. But Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy there. But you could be going towards new friendships, new partnerships, you know, working together in order to kind of like, you sow the seed to this tree, to your tree. And I keep feeling like it's your tree of life. It's your own tree of life. And every branch is a major arcanic event in your life. You've got all the major arcanic cards here. So it's a major event. So a major event could be like the loss of a person, a massive trauma, the birth of a child, you know, that type of energy. It's a big thing, a branch. But on that branch, you get those little twigs and leaves. And each twig and leaf is a moment of wisdom, knowledge, a person that came into your life through that, you know. So going back years ago, I was in a very traumatic, physical, abusive relationship. And looking back off that now, in that time, I wouldn't have said that it was a time of where I was going to get major, you know, epiphanies and things like that. But looking back now, it's almost like I can take the strength now that I found within that relationship, physical strength, knowing that I can protect myself when I need to, knowing that I am strong enough mentally to do that, and knowing I'm strong enough to go up against people who are putting me in dangerous situations. So now I can leave the pain and the regret, but I know, and I'm trusting in myself, that I can get through that, if you get what I mean. So it's like kind of self-belief, instilling self-belief in that, and starting to even trust other people in growing something together. So I like it. So, massive epiphanies. So I want to look at the triumphs. The King of Wands, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries energy. I feel like getting yourself back, you know, but the King of Wands is very charismatic, very driven. And I feel like that's where you need that drive, something to drive towards. We've got the Moon energy here with the 11-11, the Four of Wands, the completion of a project, and the project is you. So going forward, patience and planning, we've got a King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. That's getting on top of your emotions. You could be going towards a water sign, dealing with a water sign. Tell me about that. Page of Swords in reverse. No more challenges. I feel like you're dropping something. I feel like it's total time to drop something because the new is just about to come in. We've got Chariot, sign of Cancer, positive movement forward. That's you making positive moves forward, getting out of your own head. And then we've got the Six of Cups. You could be dealing with someone from the past. There could be something or issues regarding children with the Six of Cups there, sorry. We've got the Seven of Swords. Cheating, lying, stealing, betrayal, whatever it is that has been dragging you back. It's not time to let it drain you anymore. It's time to take the lesson and move forward. And that can be hard, I know it is. It's so many years to, you know, but you've got the power to do that. You choose whether you want to stay in that situation or in that victim mentality, or you get up and you be the wounded warrior. And you get up and you fight for what you want. You know, you leave the wars behind and you fight for life. Because then you've got the Ten of Cups, emotional fulfillment. So, I'm going to jump into the extended now and see exactly what's been going on here. But if this is where I leave you, I'll leave you with lots of love.